Welcome to Chat and Chew with my special guest, Rivkah Reyes.
Hello.
How are you?
I am so good.
I hope you're hungry.
I'm extremely hungry.
Well, dig in. Before we start our topic of discussion, I think we need to trick out the pasta. This is a little red pepper chili flake. And what we've got here, what is that again?
Ricotta salata.
And that's a salty aged ricotta.
Ooh.
Oh, look at that. Oh my God, that looks so fucking good.
Fire. I'm gonna pepper it up. Ooh.
Well, I've known you for a while now. We met at that place that shall remain anonymous.
Yes, the secret club for people who are not allowed to drink.
If I serve this to my friends, they're gonna say, "You undercooked it. You undercooked it." And then what they don't understand is that al dente. This is the way they make the pasta in Italy, and I always thought like it's not what I was used to because I would always overcook it.
Mm-hmm. It's gotta have a little bit of a crisp.
No. That's why I want to point to this camera now, because we're working TikTok and YouTube here, and this is the longer version. I remember when I walked into that place for the first time, and I looked at you, and I said to myself, "My God, she looks really familiar. I wonder who she is." And then it all dawned on me because, well, do you want to tell them the movie that you were in that might...
I want to hear your story.
Okay, so I was living in Italy at the time. I lived there for 7 years. And my girlfriend had 2 grandkids, and their favorite movie was School of Rock. And we watched it like a million fucking times.
That makes me so happy.
And we had to watch it in Italian, and you know, I mean, I understand Italian. I didn't need the subtitles, but one night they fell asleep while they were watching it, and I just switched it to English. And then we brought my ex-girlfriend's granddaughter to New York City, and she wanted to see a musical, School of Rock.
How'd you like it?
Well, I had an amazing time.
Yeah, it's a great musical.
Yeah. Guilty pleasure? I don't know.
Nothing guilty about it, yeah.
No, musicals. I actually really like musicals. You know?
Me too. I mean, I came up in musical theater.
For a topic of discussion, I want to just toss it over to you because you said something this morning that resonated with the whole group, including myself.
Life beyond your wildest dreams.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Be careful what you wish for. After the storm, I would have been really happy if I just never had to drink or do drugs again, and I would have been okay with that. I would start a normal life, working at the post office. You know, there was nothing that I wanted more other than to get out of that off the hamster wheel. Be careful with it, because even my smallest dreams are not even like what I expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that 100%. I also feel that like my little plans and designs for myself are little compared to the ones that the universe has in store for me.
Right. And we have to be very, very accepting of that, because otherwise we're wishing for things that we think we want, but we don't necessarily need, nor will we get them.
Amen. I mean, amen to that.
You know, we get the things that we're given things on the basis of like when we're able to actually use them in our life.
Like you can ask your, higher power, your guides, your God, whatever, for
Sky
a
Daddy?
million. Yes, Sky Daddy, Sky Mommy, Sky Guy, for $1 million. But are you ready for $1 million? Like, what are you gonna do with that? You know?
I know exactly what I would do with it.
My higher power works in such mysterious ways and has such a sense of humor. I actually do a lot of the time get exactly what I ask for from the universe. Like,
you manifest it?
I guess I manifested. I am a manifesting generator. If people are like familiar with human design, it basically tells you like what your energetic style is, and mine is manifesting generator.
That's a nice T-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. I want a human design T-shirt that says manifesting generator on it. But I mean, a couple years ago, I was visiting LA for a potential job and like went to House of Intuition to get a reading from a psychic. And she told me, oh, like your soulmate's around the corner and like they're a poet and a yogi. And when they told me that, I was like, great. I want exactly that. And I prayed every day for this poet yogi, knowing fully well that I was emotionally not available, knowing fully well that I didn't have enough time sober to like start pursuing a relationship, but I prayed for it anyway. And then the poet yogi presented themselves to me. We dated
Real
for a
poet
year.
yogi.
An actual yogi who was a poet, a like white boy rapper, who loved me a lot, but I wasn't able to return that favor because I was, again, so emotionally unavailable. But I was just like, oh, God's real. Like this poet yogi is in my life now. What I didn't register was that the psychic had also said, like, but just be careful because this relationship is gonna die because of addiction. And I was just like, well, that's probably me. And in my head, I was like, yeah, like that makes sense for this relationship to end because of addiction. It ended up being that he was addicted to me. And I had to be really, firm with my boundaries about it, and it ended up not working out, obviously.
But excuse me, you were very aware at least of the fact that this relationship had an expiration date on it to begin with because of your unavailability on an emotional level. But you had fun.
I had fun. I had a great time.
I believe also that like people are put into our lives for a specific reason, and we don't know what those reasons are until after the fact.
Yeah, everyone comes into our life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. I like to think of my life in episodes, like, how many episodes will this person be in my life? I literally don't have any control over that.
Not
All I
seasons,
have control,
but
yes.
episodes.
Seasons, episodes, an arc, but I don't have control over any of it.
That's right. We don't have any control over people. It doesn't matter. We can just do it.
People, places, and things. Go
So
ahead.
you weren't living in Los Angeles when you went to the House of Intuition?
I wasn't at the time. I've been back and forth between LA and Chicago and New York for 2 years before I like planted here. And when I planted
Did
here,
you grow up in Chicago?
I grew up in Chicago.
Whereabouts? I think we talked about this. But
I grew up in the north side, and most of my, adolescent years I lived in like the west side, so like Logan Square, Wicker Park, all like cool, the Silver Lake of Chicago.
Right. You know that Audrey grew up in Lake Forest.
And I like met this poet yogi when I was on.
Were you sober? What?
I was a couple months sober. I met them when I was like working on a project in Chicago, knowing that I was going to be moving back to LA in January of 2020. And then, I told him straight up, I was like, dude, I'm like not like trying to have like a long romantic connection. I'm like here for a season. And then I'm going back to LA. And he was just like, well, we'll play it by ear. And then he ended up just following me to LA, which I was fine with that, as long as he was able to get his own place. But he wasn't, because a little thing called the pandemic happened.
Oh, so this is the person you were living with?
Yeah. And then, for 2 months in the, early days of the pandemic, I was just like, couldn't escape him, was like trying to escape all day, would be on Zoom meetings, classes, whatever, all day, or running around Echo Park. And then, I asked for this like person to just like kind of naturally be removed from my life in a way that didn't harm anyone. And it ended up just being that like he couldn't survive in LA because he didn't have the connections I had. He didn't have like a feasible stream of income, and he didn't come here with a plan like I did. So he ended up going back to Chicago to follow a girl who, straight up said, I can't do this.
I did the same thing with a young woman when we moved to New York. I rode her coattails there because I didn't have the courage to do it on my own.
Yep.
And I think about 3 months after we got there, she just said, I met somebody else, you gotta go. And I was devastated. I was devastated for all good reason. But I was also very, very deserving of that breakup. Because I was that same, I was that guy who, I didn't have a plan. I had an idea, a very, very fluid idea of what was going to happen. But I knew I was not going to move back to Boston. I knew once I got there, and I thought, like, you know how difficult certain breakups could be.
Oh yeah.
This was my last big, difficult, like crying and not eating and not sleeping for like a month, and then I realized after the second and third month, like, I was okay. I was gonna be okay, but then that other revelation happens where I'm enjoying being with myself.
Yep.
I'm enjoying being able to do whatever I want when I want, very selfishly, of course, but at that time, what I wasn't really, the one thing I lacked in that whole breakup was any kind of self-reflection.
Were you sober?
No, not at all. I wasn't. And I mean, I wasn't like using every day, but I was still like on the periphery of, before I would cross over to full-fledged addiction and alcoholism. I was still functioning. And it's funny, like after something like that, that was not like at the forefront of my mind. I didn't want to self-harm like that. I felt like I was already going through enough pain that even the thought of like doing drugs or drinking to extreme was not going to dull that pain.
That's wild that you had that foresight. I can't relate.
Well, I mean, shortly after I started feeling better about myself, I began to smoke a shit ton of crack. But,
Yeah, oh, that'll do it.
yeah, that eventually happened. You know, you can put me on the most deserted of all islands anywhere in the world, and I will find a bad part of town.
Yeah, same. I will find the bad part of town, and I'll find like the
Let's
worst
get down.
possible person that is completely incompatible for me, and I will like try to do everything I can to like make them my person.
I would make them try to fix me though. I don't think I would try to seek a lower companion as much as I would try to find somebody to like, can you help me? Are you a fixer? This is a reclamation project, like the best you'll ever have. You'll go into the Hall of Fame if you can just take care of this particular person. And then once they begin that process, I inevitably begin to resent them for trying to fix me, even though I gave them carte blanche to do it.
Yup.
And I didn't figure this part out until much later on, after I got sober, I think I was resentful to these women because I knew deep down inside I was the one who should be doing the work on it, not them. And I just wasn't ready. And you know, it's like an inside job.
Yeah. I'm a chronic flaw finder, a fixer. I am very good at like laser focusing on like doing like a scan and finding that person's like weakness and making it my life's mission to fix it. So like, I mean, it could be anything from like somebody else's drinking problem to like microaggressive behavior or like a habit that I don't like, or like they don't wash their legs. But whatever it is, I'll like find it and I will like do everything it takes to fix it until I go insane.
I'm trying to imagine somebody who doesn't wash their legs.
A lot of men don't wash their legs, and this is a PSA: wash your legs. The shampoo from your hair isn't gonna
Work
clean
your
your
way down,
legs.
all the way down to the feet. Gentlemen, any gentlemen out there who may just kind of miss that spot.
I know some girls that don't wash their legs either, so I'm just like talking to people in general. Wash your legs.
Yeah,
It
wash
takes
it all.
5 seconds.
I mean, that's what the shower's for.
Yeah.
And I know, like, look, we're all trying to conserve water here in Southern California, and pretty soon it'll probably be spread out further into the United States if we don't get much needed respite of global warming. But yeah, just, you know,
Wash your legs.
Think. Yeah.
Think. Take a second. Wash your legs.
Just know we're gonna get into the hygiene as well here.
Well, yeah, hygiene is like
It's key.
3-part: spiritual, mental, and physical.
Cleanliness is next to godliness, or
That
in
is what they
some
say.
cases, cleanliness is next to skydadiness.
Yeah, very that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I heard
love
somebody
that.
say it, and
Sky Daddy?
Sky Daddy, and I've been using it on my sponsees because they all come in and they're all like, I don't know if I believe in God, and then I just say to them, well, you know, show me in the fucking big book where it says we're a religious organization. You got to go to church. You got to believe in God. You just have the word God there. But if you look real close, there's the God of your fucking understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that could
That's
be.
the coolest part, I think, of the program is that you get to create the higher power that does protect you.
If you're open enough when you come in,
Yeah.
I mean, look, we're all spun out, we're all tore up.
From the
And-
floor up.
Yeah, and nobody wants to, you know. Again, I think they just want to come in and just say, I'm not going to drink, I'm not going to use. And
Yeah.
they do, and they kind of feel okay because they just did 28 days in rehab, so they got some sensibility, some wits about them back.
Yeah.
But
My
then
partner now just got sober. She is, she just has like a little over 5 months now, which is like amazing, and I'm very proud of her. And she came into like sobriety with a sense of God. She identifies as a God girl. She identifies as Catholic. She, you know,
That's cool.
I was not that way when I came in, but
Not a lot of
I
us are.
wasn't as stubborn as I think a lot of people that are like around my age are about, especially queer people, like about God, because the God I grew up with was like an extension of my parents, and I knew that I
Were
had
they
this.
deeply religious?
Yeah, no, not really. It was more just like shame and guilt of like them
Right.
being like my mom being Catholic and my dad being Jewish, but them not really having a sense of religion other than like, you know, obey God and obey us and everything will
Yeah,
be
but
fine.
then all parents say that to their kids, you know, just to, you know,
Yeah.
so I can, you know, if I say this, then I can go and do whatever I was doing earlier, so I don't have to really confront my children.
Well, talk about a life beyond my wildest dreams. I have like a neutral relationship with my parents now. It's
What does
not.
that mean?
It's neither like I have an amazing relationship. My mom and my dad are my best friends. It's not that at all. It's also not like I fucking will never talk to them again. Like they're dead to me. I have a neutral. You know, my higher power has placed me in a neutral position around my parents, which is like gorgeous, and that's a life beyond my wildest dreams. I do not want to feel like resentful towards them, and I've done that like deep shadow work around my family of origin stuff, and like just know that a lot of my glaring like defaults of character do come from the way I was raised, and I can like just not be that way anymore.
Right.
And it makes it easier when I go back to see my parents or my siblings, because I'm able to just like remember that because I have it all written down.
Yeah, yeah, and that's where the whole having no control. You know, there's that
People
old-
are gonna People are gonna do people.
Right,
Like
exactly. They know how to push your buttons, or they will push your buttons, and they know where they are because
Yeah.
they put them there. But you're lucky. I got sober on October 1st, and my mom passed away in December, so 2 months later. And I did get a chance to see her, and she got to see me. Maybe the way I used to be, or maybe the way she would hope I would have turned out, or something. Even like after 2 months, I was just again grateful that I could be with her and be present. I was fortunate enough to have like another 6 years with my dad. And you know what I learned about my father is, first of all, I forgave him.
Yeah.
I forgave both my parents. I mean, they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Who does? And then
we're all
I
just
also-
doing the best with the tools we have.
And then I would come and visit him, and we'd spend a lot of time together, like almost like every day, you know, because we made a deal. I would drive Lyft, but I would need. His car was a 3-door car, so we had to go and buy a car that had 4 doors. And he was kind enough to buy the car and put my name on it, and I'm still driving it now. And so I would basically pick him up at like 8:30 in the morning, drive him to his men's club. He'd play cards till noon. I'd drive between 9 and noon, drop him off, or we would go have a bite to eat, or we would do some shopping together at the supermarket. And he's just a grumpy old man. Yeah. And I said, that's who he is. That's who he is. He's fine, you know. And I didn't try to change him. I didn't try to tell him that he shouldn't be eating what he's eating. I didn't tell him how to make his pasta. Just like, if he asked me if I wanted to come over for lunch, I'd say, you know what, I've got plans. I've had your pasta, it's overcooked. That's no thank you.
I love pasta.
Hey, thanks. You know, I wanted to thank you for coming by, and I thought maybe I'd give you a little gift.
Oh my God. Is she a tote bag?
She is a tote bag. This is a Daisy Howard for Imp. This is fan art that somebody made for me.
Wow.
And I asked that person, I asked Daisy, I said, Daisy, can I give you some money for the art? She says, no. Well, I said, I'm gonna make a bag out of it. Chat and chew bag. Because that's what we're doing now. We're doing the chat and chew.
Chat and chew.
And I said, let me at least put your name on it. So I did. So if anyone's looking for Daisy, she's on Instagram. She's married. I think she just had a child.
Congratulations.
She lives in the UK. Now I have to personalize this for you. Now,
oh my gosh.
Do you want me to write Rivkah or Riv?
I like Riv.
You like
R-I-V.
All right. And this bag is number, I checked right before you came, 27 of 50.
Wow. 27 is one of my lucky numbers.
Get
You
out!
want to know why?
Why?
Because I was obsessed with the 27 Club.
What's
if
that?
you don't know, it's all these celebrities, rock stars that died when
27.
they were 27.
Oh,
so
okay.
Janis Joplin, Kurt Cobain, Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison, now Amy Winehouse. Hey!
27 of 50.
How perfect.
Oh, you take it everywhere you go.
I will. I love the color. Yellow is like a new favorite color for me. I've been wearing a lot of yellow lately.
Tell me about your project that you're raising all this money on.
Yes, I'm working on a film. It's about recovery, mental health.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, oh my gosh. Cheers.
You got 'em. Hey.
Cheers. This is nicotine, not anything else, and it tastes like honeydew. What flavor is yours?
Mine's crack flavor.
I mean, this stuff is like crack.
Great, that's great.
Be careful. I'm a grape girl myself. I was just trying something new to see if I liked it. This
What
honeydew
flavor is that?
melon. I'm into it.
Are those disposable?
They are, but they recharge too, so like you can really get the most bang for your buck. And it's a Filipino brand called Elf Bar. Not that I'm endorsing vaping at all, but I gotta keep it in the family, so I go with the Filipino brand.
Is that the Latina in you? Is that,
Filipino.
Latina is not Latina.
Asian.
Asian.
Mm-hmm. My mom's Filipino and my dad is Ashkenazi Jew.
Shalom, my sister.
Shabbat shalom.
Right on.
It is this Shabbat day.
It is.
It's Friday.
Mm-hmm. Pretty soon we're gonna have to shut off all the electricity here. Well, after sundown.
Go Amish. Well, Amish copied us, I guess.
Hey, tell me about Gianna.
I'll tell you about Gianna. Gianna is a queer horror comedy film that I wrote and I'm starring in. And we just raised over $35,000 on a platform called Seed and Spark that helps emerging filmmakers steward their projects. And I worked with a bunch of people that I know from the Secret Society, and we just like made this shit happen. We're gonna be filming in December in LA. And
Well, if you need any clothes.
I will look at it, yeah. Because honestly, we're doing our own wardrobe. We're not like hiring a stylist or anything because it's not within our budget.
Right.
So
You can wing it.
yeah,
Right.
I mean, we all have like collectively the team has great style, so I trust everyone's judgment on like what these characters should wear. The like brief little log line is that it's a story about a girl named Gina who is kind of hitting a bottom in her life. She's on the hamster wheel, as they say.
I know
Her
the one.
therapist suggests that she spends time with her inner saboteur, Gianna, who comes to life and tries to kill her.
Nice.
Because I think we all have that voice in our head that's like, you're not enough, you're ugly, you're stupid.
The imposter syndrome.
Yes, very that, or the
I'm going through that right now.
With what?
With, like, I don't deserve all of this. The curtain is going to be pulled. Little Toto's going to pull on the curtain, and the reveal is going to be some other person is like, dude, this is a fucking dream. Wake up. Slap, slap.
And does that voice kind of sound like you and you get confused?
It is me. It is. I know where it's coming from. I know where it emanates. And I know that, you know, these are just like, look, I don't live and breathe that all 24/7 of my life, but it's just like every once in a while that rears its ugly head. It's like, I'm actually doing something that I've always wanted to do or have tried to do, and I haven't burned it down yet.
Yeah.
I've actually started something and I'm taking it to the finish line, and I've taken it to the finish line, and then I started, okay, now I moved the finish line up further, so now I've got to get to that finish line, and it's just a series of completing something and then moving that boundary further on up to accomplish that very uncomfortable fucking goal that I don't think I could do. And as I'm doing it, as I've done the ones that were behind me, my previous ones, I've realized that the closer I get to that goal, I'm saying to myself, what the hell were you scared of to begin with? I mean, it's like, it's really, I hate using this term, but life on life's terms, and the fear is...
Can you explain maybe what life on life's terms means to people who haven't heard that before?
It's like, life is gonna happen, whether you like it or not. And what it means to me is that I've got to take the great things that happen to me and the shitty things that happen to me and kind of like stay this way and not get too high when things are great, not get so low that like I'm in a huge fucking pity party and can't like get out of my own way, and just, you know, expect the unexpected. The shit's gonna go sideways when you least expect it. And are you going to be the problem, or are you going to be in the solution? You know, if it used to be that, like, when I first got sober, I would set my alarm on my phone for 10 minutes and I'd wallow in my fucking pity and feel so sorry for myself and feel like a victim. And then as soon as the alarm rang, okay, now let me find out, how do I fix this? How do I get out of this? What is my solution here? And you know what? 9 times out of 10, I always over-exaggerated whatever that problem was.
Yeah. Do you have a name for that voice that wants to be in that pity party?
Well, I don't have a name as much as I have like a cliche. It's like me pole vaulting over mouse turds. I imagine this problem to be so fucking big, a reality that does not exist, by the way. I don't know that yet, or I just refuse to want to know it. And then when you get in solution mode, you realize it. What the fuck was I complaining about again? What the fuck was I so afraid of?
Yeah. I just recently learned about the 5-second rule. Not the thing where you drop food on the floor and you have to, 5 seconds to blow the dog hair off of it, but the 5-second rule. Mel Robbins is this radio DJ, I think, who came up with this method where, when a rocket launches, it goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off. And we essentially, as humans with our lizard brains, have 5 seconds to trick ourselves out of making a decision. So like when the alarm goes off, I wake up at 5 in the morning. I'm in the 5 a.m. club because I get my best ideas at 5 a.m. I mean, yeah, especially if I'm like doing my meditation or my breath work or whatever.
You know what time I call that? I call that stupid o'clock.
Oh, why is that?
Because not too many people I know get up at 5 to start their day. You're right. It's the best time of the day. It's not like the phone's ringing off the hook. You're not putting out any fires.
Not looking at emails. None of that. You're not already.
You have some time to. I have time for my morning ritual.
Exactly.
Which is generally, a little.
And then
prayer,
don't you feel
meditation.
so good once it's like 7 and you're like hitting your first meeting or going to your first job, work-related thing, when you've had that time to yourself and with your God or your sky daddy of your understanding. But yeah, the 5-second rule is the alarm goes off, you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, out of bed.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, action.
You know what I do? The alarm goes off, and I don't even press snooze. I just press stop. I do that 3rd step prayer thing, and then I just shift out of bed, find my slippers, and then make my coffee.
Yep.
I don't look at my phone yet, and I don't have a cigarette yet. I don't do my vape yet until after my coffee, and I bring it back into the bedroom. And well, now I live with Audrey, and she goes to her 7 a.m. meeting, so she doesn't get up till about 5:45. So her alarm keeps going off, but I'm already up. I'm ready to go. I'll check some emails after around 5:30, and then get out the door and just go to I'm done. I'm ready to go. Come on, let's do this. It's time to make something.
Face the day with a smile on your face and gratitude in your heart.
I think we should just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming by today for the Chat and Chew. This is my first Chat and Chew editor's cut.
Director's cut,
sorry.
Taylor's version.
She's the actress. I'm just a minor TikTok celebrity.
Hey, both of us being sober micro celebrities, we love it. When I saw you at the place, I recognized you immediately. I was like, that's the guy I've been following on TikTok. I'm like, oh my God, that's Chat and Chew guy.
I was making goo eyes at you.
Oh my God, yeah, no. I was like, we know each other.
It's funny. That's never happened to me before. I didn't know that you recognized me. It's the first time you told me that.
Yeah. I didn't want to be weird about it.
All right. Peace out, everybody.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. Delicious.
I'm going to clean up.